Ciao ragazzi, vi rubo solo 2 secondi per ricordarvi di iscrivervi e di lasciare un bel mi piace. Grazie e buona visione!
The development you predicted in the Kastner case happened unexpectedly. Please come back immediately.
How can it be unexpected if I have predicted it?
Poirot, my friend, is that you? Poirot! Poirot! Is it truly you, my friend?
Book, it is indeed me.
What brings you so far from home?
A little affair in Syria.
An affair of the heart?
No, a modest affair of recovering stolen artifacts. But now I am summoned home to England and must leave immediately.
This evening? You travel on the Orient Express, I hope.
I have made no arrangements yet, as I just learned that an emergency has arisen, and I must return to England immediately.
Very well. It will be my pleasure to secure you a sleeper on the Orient Express.
If the director of the line insists, I accept with pleasure.
And we'll dine together. For I too depart this afternoon. We'll have plenty of time to catch up. I'll have the hotel transfer our luggage.
Excuse me, sir. You are the director of the line? The Princess Dragomirov would like to know if she may keep her mina in her compartment on the train.
Good morning, Princess. It is an honor to welcome you aboard. There is absolutely no problem for your pet.
You will ask about his food?
Oh, yes. The Princess Dragomirov would like to know if there is food for minors on board. Insects, small amphibians, baby rodents.
Baby rodents? Of course, Princess. Don't worry. Your bird will be fed as you demand.
You there, desk clerk.
One moment, sir.
Listen to me. Call the police. My train ticket has been stolen.
Stolen? Oh dear. Oh dear.
You travel by the Orient Express, monsieur?
Arbuthnot. Captain Archibald Arbuthnot, formerly British Army, now retired. And yes, I'm taking the Orient Express to Paris. But what business is that of yours?
My name is Book. I am the director of the line at your service. And perhaps this gentleman could assist you. He is Hercule Poirot.
But I must make that train.
A train ticket. Yesterday I recovered artifacts worth several millions.
Please, my friend. It's not just any ticket. It's an Orient Express ticket.
Very well, I will investigate.
Thank you, Poirot. I will arrange a car to Circecchi station for us.
How do you know your ticket has been stolen, monsieur?
I put it on a table in my room. I came down here to breakfast, and when I got back, my ticket was gone, and other things were on the floor, as if they'd been tossed about.
Alors, monsieur, I suggest we begin in your room. Will you lead the way? little grey cells did not let me down. Floor, Captain Arbuthnot?
4th floor.
Oh, one mystery solved. I suppose I can exercise my powers of observation while we wait. That's the right answer.
My room's along here. 411. In a hotel of this quality? A thief? Come on, don't dawdle. It'll be a disaster if I miss that train.
You have locked the door, monsieur?
Naturally. This is a foreign country.
You have the key card?
Of course.
We will enter. The lock has not been tampered with. Water with traces of soap. The water is scented. A perfume bottle. Empty. Suggestive. Ha! Golden moustache. The wallet is somewhat worn. It contains just over $200 and the usual cards. A fact sheet from a tour of Saint Sophia. A fact sheet from a tour of Saint Sophia. A brochure for this fascinating city. Come to Poirot, my exquisitely sculpted friend. A stamped reservation for the Bosphorus ferry. A conspicuous gallantry cross for meritorious service in Iraq, yet he only retired as a captain. A list of travel expenses, but how did these papers end up on the floor? The bed is skillfully made. This earring, it is not the first time I've seen it, but where? The room is apparently empty. I will leave it for the moment.
Go away, please.
A brief word, sir.
I will give you 2 brief words. Go away.
Monsieur.
I've been traveling all night from New York. Must I call the management?
Pardon, monsieur. I do not believe we have awakened a thief. Four floors. It's impossible for a thief to have exited through the window. That was easy. Why was there an earring in your room?
An earring? A previous guest, I suspect. I don't wear them.
How long were you at breakfast, Captain?
Half an hour or so. Just a roll and some coffee.
Did you leave the window open?
No. That must be how the thief escaped.
I think not. Unless the thief had wings. The bed is very neatly made, but the corners are not military style.
The price we paid for this hotel? I'm not going to make my own bloody bed.
Interesting pronoun, that. We. Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. The wind probably blew the papers on the floor as it came in through the window. Moreover, the door is closed, and I found an earring on the bedside table. The captain invited a woman into his room. Maybe she is our culprit. Et voilà. I do not think that's the right answer. That's the right answer. Very well, I choose to go this way. Captain Arbuthnot, I have examined your room. Much was revealed, possibly more than you expected. Rest assured, we will soon find your ticket.
It's about bloody time. I have a train to catch.
As do I.
You are traveling on the Orient Express?
Oui? If you will be good enough to answer a few questions, we may both make our train.
Ask away.
Please give me an account of your movements yesterday.
I spent most of my day in Istanbul, sightseeing. I returned to the hotel as the sun was setting. The desk clerk can confirm I was alone when I picked up my key. I spent the night alone. I had no visitors in my room.
Have you told me the entire truth, Captain Arbuthnot?
Of course. I want you to find my ticket.
Can you explain the earring I found on the bedside table?
An earring? Yes. Forgive me, Mr. Poirot. I had some business correspondence that wanted answering. The hotel provides help for business travelers. They sent up a secretary. I dictated a letter, and she mailed it for me. I hadn't noticed that she had lost an earring.
And when did you invite this secretary? This woman may be the thief we are looking for.
That was yesterday evening. My ticket was still there when I went down to breakfast. She can't have taken it.
I see. Never mind. It is easily checked. And there was no other person in your room?
No, I swear there wasn't.
Ah, well, never mind. If it is not her, there is only one option left.
Fine. Please finish your job quickly. I'll be downstairs in the lobby.
This direction looks promising. The Hotel Tocatlian is a perfect prelude for my journey. Pardon, monsieur. May I inquire when the staff begins cleaning the rooms?
Every morning at breakfast time, sir. After making certain there are no guests in the room, of course.
May I speak with the chambermaid who cleaned room 411 this morning?
I hope you don't think that one of our staff stole the ticket.
No. Do not distress yourself. We seek only information.
I will summon her at once.
Oh, I'd ask her to bring her laundry cart. Do not be frightened, mademoiselle. Did you clean room 411 this morning?
Room 411? Yes, that is one of mine.
Did you see a ticket on the desk when you entered the room?
I'm sorry, I didn't notice a ticket. There was a wallet, but of course I did not touch it.
Did you open the window?
Yes, we always air the rooms. Oh, but I forgot to close the window. While I was making the bed, the person from next door was pounding on the wall. I wondered if he needed assistance. I tossed the dirty sheets in my cart, quickly finished mopping, and went to see, but it was nothing. But I'm afraid I left the window open. I'm so sorry.
The window left open, papers scattered on the floor. The chambermaid cleaning the room. I believe I can now visualize what happened. Poirot is not going to touch the dirty laundry. That's the right answer. Mademoiselle, would you be so kind as to look in the sheets from room 411? And so the missing train ticket completes its strange journey. An open window, a laundry cart, and an annoying neighbor. But chance is the only guilty party in this dark mystery.
Mr. Poirot, I apologize. I believe my concern got the better of me, and I forgot myself. Thank you.
It was a case of great magnitude. I'm glad I was up to the challenge. And that, I think, is that.
Our bags are all packed. I have my ticket and papers. If you give me yours, I'll hang on to mine. But as your secretary...
As my secretary, you see to the bags, Hector.
Yes. Yes, sir.
That man, I have a curious impression of him, as if I were observing a wild animal, uncaged.
We must leave for the station. Our bags are in the taxi. Did you find the ticket?
It was a case most difficult, but somehow Hercule Poirot managed.
I knew you could do it. Now we can sit back and enjoy a relaxing train ride. You are in luck, Poirot. Of course, no journey on this train is ever ordinary, but this is a special occasion. To celebrate the 140 years of the Orient Express, the engine will be none other than the splendid Pacific 231 G558. There she is, Poirot. The most celebrated train in history. Oh, my eyes fill with tears of pride. It is time we were aboard, my friend. Follow me. The wagon-lit conductor, Pierre Michel, will direct you to your compartment.
Lead the way, Book.
It was built in France in 1922 by the Compagnie Batignolles-Châtillon. At the time of its purchase by the SNCF in 1938, it could reach speeds up to 130 kilometers per hour. Wait until you see. It is like traveling back in time. Today, the train is limited to 100 kilometers per hour. I assure you, that will be more than fast enough to get you to Paris in time for your connection to London. In the meantime, you will bask in the magic that is the Orient Express.
Good evening, monsieur. Your compartment is number 202. However, I am afraid that all the others are already full.
Full? But how can that be?
It is incredible, monsieur. All the world elects to travel tonight.
All the same, you must find room for this gentleman here.
I can exercise my powers of observation while they try to find me a bed.
He is a friend of mine. He can have number 201.
It is taken, monsieur.
What? Number 201?
Yes, monsieur. Oui.
Darling, we have to get aboard.
I know.
I have heard of the phobia, fear of flying, but fear of trains?
Now you're making fun of me.
Never, my love. We'll board shortly, once our compartment is ready.
Is everything aboard the train, Hector?
In your compartment, Mr. Ratchet. I'm having them disinfect the room again as you instructed. I also got a call from the Indians. The sale is going through as you expected.
There was never any doubt. No other phone calls, Hector? From Geneva or Venice?
No, sir. Who were you expecting?
Never you mind. Check our tickets. We're not going in until everything is confirmed.
The young man seems quite agreeable, but the older man is something quite different.
Mary.
Not now. Not now. When it's all over, when it's behind us, then.
Notice the young woman from the hotel. She again wishes to watch the old man with his little friend, but not to be seen herself.
Why did you order so much lobster, Hotaru?
My dear Freya, I need it for my specialty on the second night. And if the lobster a la mori isn't fresh, the passengers will know.
We don't have enough space for my desserts. Tonight, molten chocolate cake. Tomorrow, my specialty.
That is not my concern. They will not have room for them anyway.
Serve your lobster tonight.
Chicken a la mori must be the first night dish for the travelers. It is easier to digest.
Ugh, you really are the egomaniac everyone says you are.
I have every reason to be. I am the engine. You are just the caboose.
Poirot, I am mortified. The 140th anniversary, perhaps, but such a plague of passengers.
Fantastic. Yes. Right. Adequate. Well done. My little grey cells did not let me down.
Poirot, we have a solution. A gentleman has not yet come.
An Englishman, a Monsieur Harris.
A name of good omen.
It is already time to leave. What do I care for Mr. Harris?
As Monsieur pleases. I had your things sent straight to your compartment. Unfortunately, you will be with another traveler.
No.
Only for the first night. It cannot be helped.
I will survive, madame.
Monsieur Book, we can't find enough space in the kitchen refrigerator to store all of my ingredients.
How is it possible?
His recipes are extravagant. We need to leave something on the platform.
If my lobsters don't go, I don't go.
And have the passengers of the Orient Express go hungry? Never!
Must I intervene? The problem is unworthy of Poirot, but I do not intend to starve on the most luxurious train in the world.
Thank you for coming to help us.
It is impossible to fit everything into the Gary's refrigerator. Obviously, my entrees are more important than dessert.
If Mr. Mori delays his lobsters for a day or two, we can restock at another station.
Delay? You ask me to delay? Freya?
Calm yourself, my friend. I'm sure we can find a solution. Is that a diagram of the refrigerator? May I see it?
Yes, he refuses to look at it.
Et voilà. Et voilà.
You saved tomorrow night's dinner. Mr. Poirot, I will reserve the finest lobster just for you.
I look forward to it, monsieur. And to the dessert, mademoiselle.
Hopefully. That will be the last mystery you face on our journey, my dear Poirot. Your compartment for tonight only is at the back of the second-class carriage, number 102. Tomorrow, you move to a private compartment.
Welcome, Monsieur Poirot. I apologize for the delay.
Thank you, Monsieur Michel. I am delighted you could accommodate me. Pardon me?
Oh, my apologies.
Wrong compartment. I need to find number 102.
Excuse me, I think you made a mistake.
You are Mr. Harris?
No, my name is McQueen. There is no other berth on the train, monsieur. All is arranged. Yours is the upper berth. We start in 1 minute. The train's remarkably full.
En voiture!
Listen, sir, if you'd rather have the lower berth, easier and all that, well, that's all right by me.
No, you are too amiable. It is for one night only, at Belgrade.
Oh, I see. You're getting out of Belgrade.
Not exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is served. You may join the rest of the passengers in the dining car. Excuse me, monsieur. Pierre asked me to inform you that a passenger left us, so his room is yours. Monsieur Bouc instructed that your things be transferred to room 202 during dinner. You will be more comfortable in first class.
It is true what you say. Thank you,
Mr. Fauché, monsieur.
Please, my friend, join me. I have taken the liberty of ordering you your lobster.
Thank you. It appears our fellow passengers are all gathered here again tonight.
Ah. If I had but the pen of a Balzac, I would depict the scene.
Oh, it is an idea, that.
Ah, you agree. It has not been done, I think, and yet it lends itself to romance, my friend. All around us are people of all classes, of all nationalities, of all ages. For 3 days, these people, these strangers to one another, are brought together. They sleep and eat under one roof. They cannot get away from each other. At the end of the journey, they part. They go their several ways, never perhaps to see each other again.
Certainly it interests us, inviting us to watch and wonder about their lives.
Ah, I know you, my friend. Even now, your mind, it is at work. Let us test it. For example, what do you make of those two?
I was visiting my daughter. She works at the American Embassy in Istanbul. I told her she'd never find a husband there. Since I wanted to see Paris on my way home, she told me I should take this high-class train. I can't wait to see Paris. It looks beautiful in the movies, but it couldn't be more beautiful than Schenectady in the good old US of A. That's where I'm living now. And you, Miss Debenham, was it? Where do you hail from?
I was born in the UK.
Oh, that's in England, isn't it? What do you do for a living?
I teach English to children in other countries.
I see. Oh, I wish I spoke a foreign language. My daughter speaks several languages. Let me tell you about her work. It's very important.
That's the right answer. There is much you can learn about someone just by observing them and listening. For example, that lady is reserved. She reveals little. She is self-contained. Some secret prompts her to allow her dinner companion to carry the conversation. I confess, in this case, what I witnessed in Istanbul suggests more, but I will respect her privacy.
You will always amaze me. Mamma mia, you can feel the power of an engine. We climb into the mountains with ease. I know something about the power, and this baby has it in spades.
There's something special about a train, I'll give you that. I sell toys, and model trains are one of our biggest items. And not just for children either.
You sell model cars too?
Sure, but give me a train any day.
Oh, my friend. What do you have against the cars? Now I work at Fortuna in Italy as a spokesperson. We are producing the next generation of electric cars, the Fortuna Firenze. Like the city, it is beautiful. We got the competitors looking over their shoulders so much, they're going to hit something.
Didn't mean to be insulting. It's just that there's something magical about a train.
That was easy. The loud gentleman is very confident, a master of his own fate. It is as much in the inflection as it is in the words. He believes in winning, also that he is the one who will win.
You are a magician.
Oh, it is not a parlor trick, my friend. It is simply observation.
My friend, this is one of the best desserts I have ever eaten.
You have always had the sweet tooth.
But it is a masterpiece. I can't understand how the dessert can be so good. I would love to know what the recipe is. I couldn't tell what flavor the ice cream is.
Given the color, I think it's vanilla ice cream.
Of course. What is the red fruit?
It looks like a raspberry.
You have a good eye, Poirot. The biscuit is the foundation of the dessert. All else is built upon it. What do you think?
It looks like crushed biscuits, my friend.
Finely observed, indeed. Poirot, I am embarrassed to ask you a great favor.
My friend, I am on this train due to the great favor you have done me. How may I assist you?
This dessert is sublime. If only I had the recipe. Unfortunately, the pastry chef, Miss Nielsen, she will guard her secrets. But you, my friend, I am sure you could make her confess.
You wish me to persuade the pastry chef to give up her recipe?
You who are the expert at interrogation.
Book, it is a dessert.
It is the pinnacle of desserts. You, my friend, who, as you say, are on this train, I blush to remind you.
Fine, you win. Again, what wouldn't I do for you, my friend?
Oh, thank you, Poirot. Good luck.
Good evening, mademoiselle.
Good evening, sir. How can I help you?
That was a magnificent dessert you served us tonight. I wanted to tell you personally how much both Monsieur Bouc and I enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, sir.
In fact, it is so good. Monsieur Bouc insists on knowing how you made it.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry. You must know a chef never gives away their recipes. But, well, you helped with the refrigerator, and without space in it for me, there would have been no dessert. Very well. To prepare tonight's dessert, first I melt sugar to make caramel. Then I spread this caramel to make tuiles. Between two tuiles, I add a small scoop of lemon ice cream, and I put the whole thing on a strawberry crown.
Poirot, you are suspicious even now. The pastry chef gave up her prized recipe a little too easily. I sense she wasn't entirely honest with me. She may be telling the truth, but I cannot be certain.
Thank you for sharing your recipe with me. But I doubt those are strawberries you're using.
Oops. You have a good eye, Monsieur Poirot. Very well. What fruit do you think I used?
You used raspberries, not strawberries. I'm not fooled.
You're right. Mr. Bouc, he couldn't tell the difference. Let's move on to the bottom part of the dessert.
My favorite part of the dessert.
First, I melted some butter. I crumbled pieces of chocolate into the butter. Then I placed the mix in a circular mold. Finally, I let the whole thing cool down to let it harden.
It's certainly not chocolate that you've crumbled.
I see you do have an excellent palate. Do you know what ingredients I used?
A clever pastry chef might mix crushed biscuits with butter to create this delicious base.
That's it. You're getting closer to the entire recipe.
Closer? I've caught murderers with less difficulty than this.
I'll give you one last challenge. I'm sure you will be able to figure out the order I mix my ingredients in. If you can, you will have earned my recipe.
Mademoiselle, solving the murder of Roger Ackroyd was easier than this.
Yes, sir?
That's the right answer.
As promised, my recipe is yours. Give me 5 minutes to write it down for you.
Thank you. I am in your debt.
I can take advantage of this moment to resume my little observations of the passengers.
Did you enjoy the meal?
I'm not used to meals like this.
You do not have good restaurants in Kenya?
Actually, we do. This isn't the 1930s.
I did not mean to offend.
You didn't like the meal?
The lobster, it was undercooked, and the potatoes were too dry.
I expect, being Princess Dragomirov's assistant, you must be used to eating well.
Cooking is an art. You do not need to wear the chef's hat to be an artist.
What is your favorite dish?
Currywurst. It is a specialty of mine.
Et voilà.
I made a lot of progress on the expenses last night, sir. I should be done by tomorrow morning.
You're supposed to be a fast worker, Hector.
Sorry, sir. Working here is not as comfortable as in our office in Boston.
You're lucky to ride in a train like this.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Here you are, sir. My recipe. Please tell Mr. Book he should not expect my recipes for the other desserts.
Thank you very much, mademoiselle. I know he will sincerely appreciate the gesture, and I will make certain he gets the message.
Poirot, you were gone such a long time.
It proved more challenging than I expected.
This is wonderful. Did it require the use of your little grey cells?
More the exercise of my little taste buds.
Thank you so much, my friend. Eat your dessert. You've earned it.
Good evening. My name is Ratchet. I think that I have the pleasure of speaking to Mr. Hercule Poirot, is that so?
You have been correctly informed, monsieur.
Your exploits are well known on my side of the Atlantic. In my country, we come to the point quickly. Mr. Poirot, I want you to take on a job for me. Are you interested in earning a lot of money?
My clientele, monsieur, is limited nowadays. I undertake very few cases.
Why, naturally. I understand that. But this, Mr. Poirot, means big money. Big money.
My little grey cells did not let me down.
What is it you wish me to do for you, Monsieur Ratchet?
Mr. Poirot, I am a rich man. A very rich man. Men in that position have enemies. I have an enemy.
Monsieur, in my experience, when a man is in a position to have, as you say, enemies, then it does not usually resolve itself into one enemy only.
Yes, I appreciate that point. Enemy or enemies, it doesn't matter. What does matter is my safety. My life has been threatened, Mr. Poirot. Now, I'm a man who can take pretty good care of himself, but as I look at it, a little insurance wouldn't hurt. And remember, big money.
I regret, monsieur, that I cannot oblige you.
What's wrong with my proposition?
If you will forgive me for being personal, I do not like your face, Mr. Ratchet. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to finish my coffee peacefully.
A nightcap, Monsieur Poirot?
A cup of coffee, Monsieur Fauché. Then I will retire to my new compartment.
I'm sure you will find it to be most comfortable.
We have stopped?
Yes, sir. Belgrade Station. If you'd like to go out and get some fresh air, now is the time. The train leaves at 9:15.
No, I see that it is snowing. I will not seek out the fresh air.
Probably a wise decision. May I suggest a chocolate to accompany your coffee? It is produced by my father, the best chocolatier in Switzerland.
I would never refuse a chocolate with such high recommendation.
I know you will enjoy it, and please let me know if there is anything else you require.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Everything was perfect. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Is there anything you require, monsieur?
No, merci.
Why, I thought you'd left us. You said...
You misunderstood me.
But, man, your baggage, it's gone.
It has been moved into another compartment, that is all.
Oh, I see. I wish you a good night, Monsieur Poirot.
Good night.
I hope you'll sleep well and that your head will be better in the morning.
It is just the cold. I'm now making myself a cup of tea.
I hope it'll warm you up.
Monsieur Ratchet seems very upset. Finally, a real bed fit for a king or a very tired detective.
Monsieur Ratchet?
Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé.
Good night, madame.
The American lady?
Yes, don't worry. You'll know how Mrs. Hubbard is. Imagine to yourself the time I have had with her. She insists, but insists, that there is a man in her compartment. Just imagine it, monsieur. In a space of this size, where would he conceal himself? I argue with her. I point out that it is impossible. She insists. She woke up and there was a man there. And how, I ask, did he get out? And leave the door bolted behind him? But she will not listen to reason.
That one does not leave time to listen. The train has stopped, Mr. Michel?
We have run into a snowdrift. Heaven knows how long we shall be here. I remember once being snowed in for 7 days.
Where are we?
Between Winkowski and Brod.
Oh la la. It's time for me to go back to bed.
I wish you a good night, monsieur. Or what is left of it.
The train is still stuck and the snow continues to fall. I should have taken an airplane. Well, I must make the best of it and join the other passengers for breakfast. The train still hasn't left. Finest of curling irons for the moustache. Wax to preserve the perfect symmetry of the moustache. The moustache comb to tame unruly knots.
Good morning, Monsieur Michel.
Good morning, sir. Please enjoy our special breakfast in our restaurant.
This delay is intolerable. I'm supposed to be demonstrating the...
My daughter said it would be the easiest way in the world. Just sit on the train.
Good morning, madam. The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian. Snow is no stranger to me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov?
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
A beautiful piano. What a luxury. Pity there's no one to play it.
Mademoiselle, you are not concerned about the train stopping?
What can one do?
Indeed, this does not make the train move. You have great strength to remain calm at a time like this.
I know one far, far stronger than I.
And that is?
Well, that old lady, for instance. You have probably noticed her. She just has to lift her little finger and ask for something in a polite voice, and the whole train runs.
It runs also for my friend Monsieur Bouc, but that is because he is a director of the line, not because he has a masterful character.
You don't have to have a strong will when you have power. But I suspect I did not need to tell you that, Mr.
Poirot.
Mr. Poirot.
Good morning, Mr. Fauchet. You have early customers, I see.
Yes, I am stuck serving here as well at breakfast. Everyone is impatient. They keep complaining that the train is not moving, as if I could get out and push it.
It's too early for me to order a boxcar. That is the appropriate drink, I believe.
A gin, triple sec, lemon and grenadine mix. A drink for a train indeed.
But not perhaps for my breakfast. I think I will settle for an omelette.
Good luck, sir. Miss Nielsen is helping to serve in the dining car.
How long are we expected to be stranded here?
It won't do much good complaining to me. That fellow there with the moustache, he may know something.
Excusez-moi, sir.
Yes?
Monsieur Bouc asks for you to join him in compartment 203.
Look here, Poirot. Can you tell us anything?
I can tell you the snow, it will not move aside on its own.
Of course, but you obviously have some influence with Bouc.
I am going to see him now. I will ask him if he has any information.
My good friend, come in. We have need of you.
What has occurred?
A passenger lies dead in his bed, stabbed.
A passenger? Which passenger?
In there. He's an American, a man called Ratchet. It was his valet masterman who was worried that Mr. Ratchet was not awake yet. Pierre Michel, the conductor, decided to break in and found the body.
I see. Well, my friend, I think it is best not to touch anything and wait for the police to arrive.
Oh, I tried to call the police, but there is no cell tower for many kilometers. We could be stuck in the snow for hours. The murderer is with us. On the train, now! The sooner we catch him, the sooner we'll be out of danger. The Dr. Constantine is already examining the body.
Mon ami, this is not a missing train ticket. We must follow procedure. We must wait for the police to secure the crime scene.
Please, Poirot. I will take full responsibility.
Bouc, you ask. Well, if we cannot contact the outside world, then... Oh, you are going to drive me crazy. In truth, this problem intrigues me. I was reflecting not half an hour ago that many hours of boredom lay ahead whilst we are stuck here. And now, a problem lies ready to my hand.
You accept, then?
C'est entendu. You place the matter in my hands.
Mr. Poirot, I am Dr. Constantine.
Forgive me, Doctor. You are a medical examiner?
No, but I have assisted in post-mortems at Nairobi Hospital, where I am a teaching fellow.
I am familiar with your excellent institution.
I do not intend to perform a full autopsy, but a preliminary examination should be of some use.
Of course. May I have a look? Then we can compare notes.
Please. If you need any help, I won't be far away.
That was easy. The watch is broken. The hands are stopped at 1:15 a.m. One would expect that to be the time when the attack occurred.
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
I will, of course, prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you. I'll take photos. Did it belong to Ratchet? Last night, Monsieur Ratchet said he takes precautions. I see now what he meant. He knew he was in danger and wanted to be ready. Yet it was no use to him. I will leave it here for the police. This phone was deliberately smashed. I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside. I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside. A handkerchief. There's a letter H embroidered on it. I wonder what could be in this photo. A box of sleeping pills.
expensive clothing, recently laundered. Where can the killer have gone? This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side. For Daisy. Interesting.
Et voilà.
The chain lock is broken. Monsieur Michel told me that he broke the chain on the door to get into the room. The snow is falling only lightly this morning. The murderer would have left tracks in the snow if he had jumped out the window. This door communicates with compartment 204. The latch is open on this side. Not very surprising. Ratchet had an appointment he will never keep. A meeting place on the back of a postcard. Someone with the initials A.W.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I must question you.
Of course. I must be considered under suspicion like everyone else.
May I know your movements last night?
I share compartment 101 with Mr. Book. He would not stop talking about his beloved train. I listened to him for hours talking about his Orient Express.
My friend Book will no doubt confirm this. Did you know the victim?
Not at all. I noticed him last night at dinner, but I did not pay much attention.
Did you touch anything in here this morning?
I checked for a pulse. There was none. Rigor mortis had commenced. The body was cool to the touch. I touched nothing else.
What can you tell me about the victim?
He died from multiple stab wounds of varying angles and depth. More than one would have been fatal. I would place the time of death roughly between midnight and 2 a.m. With more time, I hope I can be more precise.
I assume the open window complicates matters.
Indeed. Conditions are not perfect.
Thank you for your help, Doctor. A meeting place. On the back of a postcard, someone with the initials A.W. Unusual letter, this. No, not good. So, the murderer must have exited through Madame Hubbard's room.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. That was easy. I must admit I'm not right this time. No, not good. Think, Poirot, that is not a good answer. I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life.
That's the right answer. Et voilà. I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced. Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God! I knew it! I knew it!
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, may I inspect your room?
Of course, yes, you must.
My little grey cells did not let me down. Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the Orient Express. The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail. This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side.
Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. "Come in," I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
How is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet. It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive. Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
Are you a smoker?
No, definitely not. Filthy habit.
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to a train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure. I have not finished inspecting your room, if you don't mind. You can never have too many of these. Let's see if Mrs. Hubbard was telling the truth about the latch of the connecting door. This hook is probably where Mrs. Hubbard hung her toiletry bag. This hook is probably where Mrs. Hubbard hung her toiletry bag. I can see the latch very well from here, even with the toiletry bag attached. I'll have to clear that up with Mrs. Hubbard. Mrs. Hubbard, you told me that the door connecting the two compartments was closed, correct?
Yes, it was, as I told you. I was already in bed and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was. That's why I asked Miss Olsen to check if it was closed.
Are you sure everything you've told me is accurate, Madame Hubbard?
Of course. I have an excellent memory.
Mrs. Hubbard, I tested putting your toiletry bag on the door hook as you told me. From your bed, you can easily see the latch on the door. The toiletry bag does not hide the latch at all.
Are you saying I'm lying? It may have been stuck somehow in a different position. or I may not have seen it in the darkness. Or I didn't think to look, you irritating man.
Details matter, madame. A man has been most savagely murdered. You will excuse me if I attempt to separate the truth from the false.
Forget my toiletry bag and focus on who entered my compartment. Probably after killing Mr. Ratchet.
Madame Hubbard is a force to be reckoned with, but I suspect I'm not done with her.
Thank you for your assistance, madame. Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No, tobacco only.
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman, and then his secretary, the young American gentleman, Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hubbard. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary, Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
That was easy. While Monsieur Michel was chatting with Monsieur Fauchet in the bar car between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., the murderer could have escaped Ratchet's room without being seen. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
This is the most likely answer. According to the information I have, this is a solid choice. Monsieur Edward Masterman, I believe. May I ask you some questions?
I can barely talk. I have a terrible toothache.
We have a doctor on board the train. Perhaps...
I do not need a doctor. I use essential oils. If you can find my flask of clove oil in my box, I would be grateful.
Fine, if you insist. I will help you.
By the smell, I think that the jojoba oil spilled on the other bottles, leaving their labels illegible. I must find another way to find which one is Masterman's toothache remedy. The weighing scale is soaked in jojoba oil. It's unusable. Ah, This old scale will do the job. To start, I must first arrange the vials from the lightest to the heaviest. Now that I know the order, I think that I can easily guess which one is the clove oil. Here is Monsieur Masterman's remedy.
Here is your remedy. I hope it will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, I can finally speak without too much pain. I'm ready to answer your questions.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
My little grey cells did not let me down. At what hour did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been around 9 p.m., sir. That or a little after. I went to bed around 10:30 p.m., same as the person who shares my room, Mr. Foscarelli. He almost immediately began snoring.
What did you do then?
I read, sir, and I spent a while soothing my toothache with clove oil and listening to the snoring.
Did you hear anything during the night?
Yes. My roommate's snoring.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
Tell me about your employer, Monsieur Ratchet.
I've been working for him for 9 months. I should not wish to speak ill of the dead, but he was not a gentleman, sir.
Did you know that he had enemies?
Yes, sir. I heard him discussing some threatening letters, sir, with Mr. McQueen.
Did he mention these letters to you?
He had been reading a letter when I came in. He asked me if I was the one who put it in his compartment. I told him that I had done no such thing, and he should report it to the police at the next station.
How did he respond?
He laughed, sir.
You're joking.
I do not joke, sir.
Forgive me, I can see you do not. Was he taking sleeping pills?
Always when traveling by train, sir. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Last night he asked me to give him 2. I did so, along with a glass of water. He dissolved them in the water.
Did you see him drink the water?
No, sir. I left right after I gave him the pills.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No. He finds smokers disgusting.
Can you tell me again why you gave sleeping pills to Monsieur Ratchet?
Yes, I gave him the pills because when he takes the train, he has trouble sleeping. The letter must have worried him. He specifically asked me to prepare the sleeping pills. I didn't see him drink the water with the pills in it.
I see nothing to prove he's lying.
Monsieur, I believe you are not telling me the truth.
What? How can you say that?
He received threatening letters. One, it seems, last night. Did you know he had a gun under his pillow? And even asked for my help to watch over him? I find it strange that he asked you for sleeping pills when he was afraid for his life and prepared to defend himself.
I'm sure I don't know. Maybe to calm his nerves, maybe out of habit.
It makes no sense.
Wait, please. Isn't it possible that Mr. Ratchet asked me to prepare the pills, but didn't plan to drink them for some reason?
It is possible. But I am a student of character, monsieur, and the Monsieur Ratchet you describe is not the man I met.
If you'll excuse me, my toothache is getting worse again.
I'm afraid this time you must prepare your own clove oil. I believe I am addressing Monsieur Hector McQueen.
Guilty as charged.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, sorry. Just an expression. My father used to say it.
You must have had an interesting childhood. I am Hercule Poirot.
No need to be modest. You're a detective.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
I am Mr. Ratchet's secretary. Just over a year. I mainly take care of translating certain texts for him. Mr. Ratchet only speaks English.
Prepare yourself for a shock. Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, is dead.
So they got him after all.
What do you mean? You are assuming he was murdered?
I know he had enemies.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
He was American. He was an antiques dealer. I don't know much more. Mr. Ratchet never talked about himself or his life, but I think Ratchet wasn't his real name. And he left the United States to run away from something, or someone.
Yes?
He started getting letters, threatening letters.
Do you still have them?
I have one.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked for my help?
Asked you? No, I didn't know.
He knew he was in danger. When did you last see him?
Last night around 10 o'clock, I should say.
Did you like your employer, Monsieur McQueen?
No, I did not. He was, I'm sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
Can you tell me your movements last night?
I went back to my compartment. I read a little. In Belgrade, I went out onto the platform to smoke, but it was cold. I quickly went back in. I then went to Mr. Ratchet's compartment to take some dictation for him. I left around 10 o'clock. I saw Captain Arbuthnot. We ended up chatting in my compartment. Then we went out on the platform to quickly stretch our legs at Vinkovsky. He left around 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
I will need to check Monsieur McQueen's story with Captain Arbuthnot.
I found a diary in Monsieur Ratchet's safe. Did you know about it?
I kept a business appointment book, but I know he had a personal diary as well. That looks like it.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I've tried to quit, but no luck.
Can you give me this letter, please?
Of course. Here it is.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No, he hated the smell of smoke.
Think, Poirot. That is not a good answer. I do not think that's the right answer. The murderer may have impersonated Ratchet by calling Monsieur Michel to make it seem that Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. That's the right answer. My little gray cells did not let me down.
Very well, I choose to go this way. This is the most likely answer.
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room, and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us, on the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
I use my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out. The ticket reads Joanna Lock, traveling in compartment 105. Miss, can you hear me? She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very soundly. This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom. A briefcase and a wagon-lit conductor's jacket. And a button is missing.
So, Poirot, any luck so far? Poirot, I'm disappointed in you. I was certain you would have it by now. Have you tried 0000? If you need a break, I can ask Jean to make you some coffee. But of course you know what you're doing.
Book. Silent like a mouse, please.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll be quiet now. You need to concentrate. I will not utter another word. Not one.
Book. There will be another murder on the Orient Express in a moment. She has a gun.
Come, Poirot. Criminals are often known to carry one.
Ratchet was stabbed, not shot. But then why take it on the train? This badge says that Joanna Lock is an American detective with the Berkshire Police Department in Massachusetts.
An American police officer? Oh.
Mademoiselle Lock seems very interested in our victim.
Of course. She has studied her target.
Possibly. The stuffed animal is the same as in the photo found at the crime scene.
What a coincidence.
Mademoiselle Lock appears to have been investigating Monsieur Ratchet. Her driver's license confirms her identity. She is American.
These are fake IDs. It's certain. Look, she's waking up.
Thanks to you, I would not be surprised if our murder victim were also waking up.
I What?
Oh, my head. What's all the yelling about?
Who are you? Give me a good reason why you should not be in handcuffs.
I can give you a reason, Book. Whose handcuffs will we use? I have none. Do you?
Well,
You are Joanna Lock, mademoiselle?
Yes, Joanna Lock. I'm a detective. Berkshire, Massachusetts Police.
I have found your credentials, mademoiselle.
And I know who you are, Mr. Poirot.
Then, if the introductions are complete, perhaps the explanations may begin.
I'll try. It's simple, really. I'm on the trail of a murderer.
I had just been promoted to detective after 5 years on patrol. It was my first time on a major case. It had been a month since Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped. The Armstrongs were desperate for some sign of hope. I was there only for paperwork, to fill in some blanks. The investigation is now part of a pile of investigations, and my captain sent me here just to dot some I's and cross some T's. The crime was audacious. How could the kidnapper know which was the window of Daisy's room? No, they could use a ladder to reach it, and no, they could enter the room without being seen. The misspellings are clearly on purpose, and they didn't return the child when the ransom was paid. How could the child be taken with so many people in the house? I can't imagine the pain her parents felt when they realized Daisy was gone. How are they going to feel when they realize I have no answers for them? Only more questions. That's why I'm here. A damn computer glitch. Or somebody pushed delete instead of save. Whatever happened, we lost the nanny's deposition. So my entire contribution to the investigation is to take it again. The phone record of the night of the kidnapping. The last call was for 911. A topographical map, often more important than a road map in these mountains. Good evening. Colonel Armstrong?
Yes. You're the detective they phoned about.
Joanna Lock.
I don't remember you.
I'm newly assigned to the case.
It's about time more detectives were involved. My wife, Sonia, she hasn't been herself. Every day is a waking nightmare for us. Tell me you've uncovered something new.
I'm here to speak to your daughter's nanny. There was a computer problem. Her earlier statement has been lost.
Oh, I see. We had hoped. Well, do as you wish. I won't be far if you need me.
Mrs. Armstrong, my name is Joanna Lock. I'm a detective investigating the kidnapping of your daughter. May I talk to you? When is your baby due? Mrs. Armstrong? Sonia?
I don't want to talk. I just want to see my daughter again. That's all that matters.
The poor woman. I can't imagine how she feels. And another baby on the way? I want to help, but I'm here to take the nanny's statement, and there are no words I can think of to ease Sonia's pain. Lyon, in France. What a love.
Hello, are you Suzanne Moreau, Daisy's nanny?
Yes?
I'm Joanna Lock, a detective working on Daisy's case.
Is there any news?
I'm afraid not.
How can I help you?
I'm really sorry. I'm afraid I have to take your statement again concerning the evening of Daisy's disappearance. There was a computer problem. Your statement was accidentally deleted.
Of course. I want to help any way I can.
Tell me about that night in your own words.
The Armstrongs had a party to raise money for a museum, I think. Mrs. Armstrong is on her board. I was in charge of Daisy. I stayed with the little one all evening, playing with her and reading books to her. She couldn't sleep with all the noise and the comings and goings.
When did you notice Daisy was missing?
I was only gone 5 minutes to phone my mother. She's in the hospital. When I returned, Daisy wasn't in her bed. I thought she might have gone to look at the party, but then I saw the ransom note on her pillow. I screamed and screamed. I couldn't stop.
Did you notice anything unusual before that?
I was with Daisy all evening. Finally, she fell asleep. I didn't see anyone else or notice anything in particular.
Do you have any idea who did this?
No! I can't see who could have done such a horrible thing. The Armstrongs are such good people. Like my own family.
Thank you for giving me your statement again. I'll get back to you if I have any questions.
I won't be far.
Okay, I have Suzanne's statement, but her answers need some checking. This information does not correspond to what Suzanne told me. Suzanne said she left Daisy alone for 5 minutes, but Mrs. Armstrong says she stayed with Daisy for a while and Suzanne did not return. That's it. No rookie mistake there. Nothing shocks me here. Score. 1 for the good guys. A toy train. Now here I am on a real one.
Mrs. Armstrong? Let me show you this.
Daisy, my little Daisy. I miss her so much. How good it is to see her face.
I can't imagine the pain you're feeling right now.
She loved her little stuffed animal, Fluffy. She took him everywhere with her. The kidnappers took it as well. They didn't have to. That means they wouldn't hurt her, doesn't it?
Every lead will be followed up. You have my word on that.
Thank you. I shouldn't lose hope. Somehow.
I know it isn't my case, but I just made a promise, and I mean to keep it.
Tell me about the night Daisy was taken, especially anything about your daughter and Suzanne Moreau.
Apart from seeing to our guests, I took a moment to check on Suzanne and Daisy in Daisy's room. Suzanne wasn't there, but Daisy was asleep. I sat with her for 10 minutes or so. Suzanne didn't return while I was there, but there's no reason for her to sit there all night when Daisy is asleep. I went back downstairs.
Do you know where I can find Miss Moreau?
She's in her room. Last door on the left.
May I come back if I have more questions?
Of course. Anything I can do.
Okay, the stories Sonia and Suzanne tell don't match. I should recheck my file and track Suzanne's movements. Everything looks okay here. That is not exactly what Suzanne told me earlier. Suzanne was on the phone more than 5 minutes. Score. 1 for the good guys.
If I understand you correctly, you left Daisy when she was not asleep?
The party was very loud. Daisy was too wound up to sleep. I read her a Motley Mule detective story to try and put her to sleep. Daisy finally fell asleep. Right before Motley Mule solved his case in the book I was reading her. I had to make a quick phone call. No more than 5 minutes. But when I came back, Daisy was gone.
Are you sure you were only gone for 5 minutes?
5, 6, what does it matter? It was very quick.
You say you were only away 5 or 6 minutes, but Mrs. Armstrong says she was alone there more like 10 minutes. And the phone record shows that you stayed on the call for more than 30 minutes, way longer than you said.
My mother is extremely ill. It's difficult for me. I may have lost track of time. When I came back, Daisy had disappeared. It must have been a coincidence.
You have to be precise, Suzanne. A little girl's life is at stake.
Why are you doing this? I didn't do anything wrong. I would never hurt Daisy.
I need to check Suzanne's story. She's panicking. Why now? What is she afraid of? The detective gets it right.
The number you have called is not in service at this time. Please hang up and dial again, or contact your service provider.
The number Suzanne called is not in service? A hospital? Come on, Joanna. That's a rookie mistake. Score. 1 for the good guys. The kidnapper places a ladder under the window to Daisy's room. Then he joins the party, just one guest in the crowd. He somehow knows when Suzanne leaves the room, then sneaks upstairs. He opens Daisy's window, carries her down the ladder, and vanishes. I should see if the Armstrongs can confirm what Suzanne told me. I spoke with Suzanne. She was phoning her mother. That's why you didn't see her when you went to check on Daisy.
Yes, her mother. I tried to call the poor woman earlier that week, but the hospital said she's been in a medically induced coma for more than 2 months.
Suzanne told me she called her mother, but she would have known her mother was in a coma. I should see if the Armstrongs can confirm what Suzanne told me. How are you doing? Are you holding up?
You know, in the military, you're supposed to have the stiffest of upper lips. The Desert War taught me that soon enough. But this, it's difficult. Damned difficult. Harder on my good lady, of course.
Do you know where I can find Miss Moreau?
Her room is upstairs across the hall from Daisy's. She seldom leaves it.
Did you see Miss Moreau during the party?
I remember seeing her at some point, but otherwise, no. I was too busy with my guests. Wear the smile, shake the proffered hand.
Ms. Moreau told me she called her mother.
Well, why not? I believe they are very close. And the poor woman is not well. She needs some experimental treatment that isn't available yet in France.
I won't be long.
Take whatever time you need.
The number you called that night is no longer in service.
I don't understand. That's the number the hospital gave me to call my mother's room.
You told me you were on the phone with your mother when Daisy was abducted.
As we said earlier, I didn't pay attention and was on the phone longer than I said. But since my mother is very ill, she had to leave her hometown, Lyon, because the treatment is not approved yet in France. She is in an hospital in Boston for a special treatment. I call her every night to check on her. When I came back, Daisy was gone. I'll never forgive myself.
Are you sure you called your mother?
Yes, every night since she was admitted in December.
Suzanne, I think you really care for Daisy. If you do, then tell me the truth. You can't have been calling your mother while she's in a coma.
My mom really is in a hospital in Boston. She really is in a coma. I wasn't calling her. I was on the phone with my boyfriend, Noah.
Why lie about it? Why are you panicking?
Because he's gone. I haven't heard from him since the night of the kidnapping. I'm afraid he's somehow connected to Daisy's disappearance. That he was just using me somehow. But I swear I talked to him. Yes, for more like 30 minutes that night. So he couldn't have kidnapped Daisy at the same time we were talking.
But he could have kept you talking so someone else could take Daisy.
Yes, you can see why I lied. Can't you? I was afraid you'd suspect me of having something to do with it. You can understand that, can't you?
Suzanne, I want to believe you, but you've made it harder to find Daisy. Do you realize that?
Oh my God. What have I done?
What's most important is not what you've done, but what you do now. Go. I'll be back to talk to you. No more lies, Suzanne. For Daisy, no more lies. Noah. The name might lead us to that little girl. I am on this case now, whether my captain wants me to be or not. Huh. What's in the glass case? Oh, big surprise. Glasses. I expect Suzanne must have gone through a lot of tissues these past weeks. An Eiffel Tower keychain, but no key. Small jewelry box. By the size, I'm guessing earrings. Why put a key in a jewelry box? Okay, Suzanne, let's see what you haven't told me.
I can see why Suzanne didn't tell me everything about this Noah. It's clear when he disappeared that she realized something was very wrong.
I imagine these flowers must have been beautiful. Who gave them to you?
The gardener. They're getting pretty wilted, but I hate to throw them away.
Tell me about your boyfriend. Have you been together long?
My boyfriend? Why? He doesn't have anything to do with this.
Please, Suzanne, the sooner you answer my question, the sooner we'll be done.
His name is Noah Garrity. I met him at a Lunar New Year party in Great Barrington. He is a kind and caring person. Although, well, I miss him. He had to go away on business. He should be back.
Can you tell me anything about Suzanne's boyfriend?
I know she dated our chauffeur for a while. There was someone else she'd met recently, but I don't recall his name.
Know anything about Miss Moreau's boyfriend?
Her boyfriend? I know she went out with someone for a while there. More recently, I saw a man in a 4x4 who would pick her up on her nights off. He never got out of his car, just waited for her. She did seem to spend more time than usual on the phone these past few weeks, but she worked hard. We weren't going to begrudge her what free time she had. Since the abduction, she keeps pretty much to herself.
I won't be long.
Take whatever time you need.
Nothing shocks me here. These tire tracks could well be from Suzanne's boyfriend's 4x4. The detective gets it right.
Tread marks of a four-wheel drive vehicle were found outside the garden on the night of the kidnapping. Noah drives one, doesn't he? Where is he, Suzanne? If you know anything more about him, you have to tell me.
I know what you're thinking, but it's impossible. He was very nice to me. He never did anything to make me suspicious. We went out to eat, to the movies. Just like a normal couple. He's not the only man in the Berkshires who drives that kind of car.
I need evidence she's lying, not guesswork. Come on, Joanna. You can do better.
You really didn't notice anything strange about Noah until he vanished?
He could get moody at times, as if he had a lot on his mind.
You mentioned the Blue Lagoon. Why?
I don't know. I never thought about it. I guess he liked the place.
That makes sense.
In your diary, you say that Noah took you to a cabin in the mountains on Valentine's Day.
You read my diary?
I'm sorry, but we have to find Daisy. We both want that. So yes, I looked in your diary.
You're right. He took me to a cabin in the woods. I waited for him in the car. He came out after a few minutes. He was very sweet and apologetic, but he never explained. We went back to the restaurant for dessert.
Did you ever go back to the cabin with him?
No, never.
So what made Noah drive all the way to a cabin in the middle of nowhere? He left her in the car. Why was he there? This is important. I know it is. I can use Suzanne's directions to the cabin and compare them to the map of the area I have in my car. Thanks to the information Suzanne gave me, I should be able to find the cabin on this map. I got it. The cabin has to be here. I have to find that cabin. I hope I'm not too late. Okay, here is this famous cabin. Let's investigate.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Nobody. I can't just waltz in without a warrant. I need to see what's inside. That barrel is sturdy enough. I could climb on it. Ugh, an old hunting trophy starting to molt. Empty wine bottles. Somebody has been here lately. It's Daisy's plush toy. If Fluffy is here, the kidnapper has been here. I have to get inside this cabin. Noah brought Suzanne to this dump on Valentine's Day? What a romantic. I'm not getting through this door by wishing it open. A maul for splitting wood. Perfect for attacking doors. The broom isn't sturdy enough to force the door. Look at that. A broken door to investigate. Some people seem to have played here before. Some boxes. I wonder what they were used for. A lot of tools. I guess somebody noticed the cabin was about to fall down. The stove is cold. Nobody's been here recently. The floor is scratched and worn in this area. The sofa must have been moved a lot.
Damn, it's booby-trapped. If I move, it could go off, and that countdown tells me it wants to go off anyway.
Since I'm telling this story to you, Mr. Poirot, you should be able to deduce I didn't blow myself up. Let's see if I can remember how I defused the bomb. That should do it.
Wow, I wonder if that's how close it was. This would have ended my investigation right here. These rods are heading towards the canisters. It must be the trigger for the explosion. I smell a strong, sweet smell. Damn. I think these are filled to the brim with diethyl ether. Incredibly flammable. It looks like the kidnappers wanted to utterly destroy this place and whoever opened this hatch. A wooden crate? I have to open it. Oh no. Daisy. No.
I called in my discovery of the body. Then there was nothing I could do except protect the site for forensics. The forensics team arrived an hour later, cordoned off the cabin with crime scene tape, and went to work, looking for physical evidence, fingerprints, testing for fluids, DNA, any clues science can uncover.
They removed Daisy's body. The autopsy would take place in the morning. But I had one more stop to make.
That night, I swore to find the monster who killed that child. Ratchet on train saw me? How? Daisy.
She was awake?
And then she collapsed again.
I take the responsibility. She was weaker than I realized.
Oh.
Lie still while I examine you. Pupils dilated?
I'm all right.
You are far from all right. You have been heavily sedated. Your pulse is very weak.
I have to finish my story. Ratchet can't escape again. Can't escape.
Have no fear of that, mademoiselle. Ratchet will not escape.
We must hear her story.
This woman needs rest. I will let you know when she is recovered enough to continue. But I warn you, it will be some time.
I understand, Doctor. Thank you.
I have completed my preliminary examination of the deceased. I think that it will interest you.
Indeed it will. And I have other witnesses to interrogate. You are right. Let's not put this poor woman in danger. There will be plenty of time for her to finish her story when she has recovered. By all means, tell me the results of your examination. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. Can you estimate the time of death?
Rigor mortis was advanced, but not complete. I estimate the death occurred between midnight and 2 in the morning.
That tallies with the witness statements I've collected so far. What is the cause of death?
Multiple stab wounds to the upper torso. It's odd there are no signs of a struggle. That might indicate one of the first wounds was enough to kill him.
It seems that Monsieur Ratchet had taken sleeping pills during the night.
Ah, that would explain the lack of defensive wounds.
Mr. McQueen and Mr. Masterman told me that Monsieur Ratchet didn't smoke. Can you confirm this?
I can't say without a more extensive post-mortem.
What can you tell me about the stab wounds?
I counted 12 in all. 1 or 2 are so slight as to be practically scratches. On the other hand, at least 3 would be capable of causing death. The angle of the wounds is instructive. Most appear to have been struck by a right-handed person. But you see, this one, under the right armpit, it's not a deadly blow given the depth, but a right-hander couldn't have done it. It was most certainly struck with the left hand.
So, our murderer is left-handed. No, it is more difficult than that, is it not?
As you say, Mr. Poirot, some of these other blows are just as obviously right-handed.
Do we have a first and second murderer, as the great Shakespeare would put it? The first murderer stabs his victim and exits left, turning off the light. Then a second murderer comes in the dark, does not see his or her work has been done, and stabs a dead body.
Magnificent.
You think so? I'm glad. It sounds to me a little like nonsense. Thank you, Doctor. Excellent work under difficult circumstances. Please let me know when I may speak again with Mademoiselle Lock.
Of course.
That's certainly a good place to start. I don't remember any conversations about smoking. The topic is of no interest to me. Yes, I have personally seen some passengers smoking. I just have to remember who they were. Oh, this is a tenuous clue at best. I still have more important interrogations to conduct. No, I have no official authority. Yes, I suppose it's likely they will give me the list of who smokes what. That was easy. That's the right answer. Great. Brilliant. Well done. Good job. I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. Captain Arbuthnot, I beg your pardon, but could you answer a few questions for me?
I'm grateful you found my ticket, Poirot, but now is not convenient.
I certainly didn't expect such a resistance. Most of the passengers pass by the bar during the day. They eat, drink, write. Maybe I can use this information for my investigation. Fantastic. Yes, it could work. He appears to be an observant young man and serves the passengers regularly. Adequate. Yes, if I ask them to write something trivial, they may do it instinctively with their dominant hand. Nice. Yes, I will remember which people use their right or left hand. That was easy. Mademoiselle Debenham, I have a few questions for you.
Of course.
Let's start with your movements last night.
There's little to tell. I went to bed and slept.
Did you know the man who was killed?
I saw him for the first time during lunch yesterday.
Did you notice anything about him?
Well, if I believed in auras, I might say he seemed dark.
Would you mind writing your address on this paper for me?
Not at all.
That's it. Mademoiselle Debenham is right-handed. Do you recall what time Mademoiselle Olsen went to get some aspirin from Madame Hubbard?
I remember glancing at the clock. She left our room just after 10:30 p.m.
Was she away for a long time?
About 5 minutes.
That confirms what Madame Hubbard told me. Do you smoke by any chance?
No, I never have.
Do you own a scarlet nightgown?
No, it isn't mine.
Whose then?
I don't know. What do you mean?
You do not say, I have no such thing. You say, it isn't mine, meaning that you know who it belongs to, am I correct?
Oh, I see. No. I woke up this morning about 5 a.m. with the feeling that the train had been standing still for a long time. I opened the door, and I saw someone in a scarlet kimono some way down the corridor. Her back was turned. It was impossible to see who it was.
I understand. Thank you for your assistance, mademoiselle. Mademoiselle, I am sorry to disturb you, but I need to ask you a few questions.
Are you the investigator?
I am.
We are lucky you are on the train. What do you want to know?
I hear, mademoiselle, that you were the last person to see the murdered man alive.
I do not know. It may be so. I opened the door of his compartment by mistake. I was much ashamed. It was a most awkward mistake.
You actually saw him?
Yeah. He was reading a book.
And what did you do after that, mademoiselle?
I went in to the American lady, Mrs. Hubbard. I asked her for some aspirin, and she gave it to me. I usually carry extra aspirin for the refugees, but I gave mine to a camp in Turkey. They needed it more than me.
No, not good. Et voilà. Did Mrs. Hubbard ask you whether the communicating door between her compartment and that of Monsieur Ratchet was bolted?
Yes.
And was it?
Yes.
And after that, what did you do?
After that, I went back to my compartment, took the aspirin, and lay down. That was around 10:50 p.m.
Is there anyone else in your compartment?
Yeah, a young English lady. Very nice, very amiable.
After the train left Vinkovsky, did she leave the compartment?
No, I am sure she did not.
Why are you so sure, if you were asleep?
I sleep very lightly. I am used to waking at a sound. I am sure that if she had come down from the berth above, I should have awakened.
Did you yourself leave the compartment after that?
Not until this morning.
Do you have a scarlet silk kimono, mademoiselle?
No, indeed. I have a good comfortable dressing gown of Jaeger material.
Do you smoke, mademoiselle?
No, I can't stand the smell of tobacco.
Perhaps you will be so amiable as to write me down your address.
With pleasure.
Mademoiselle Olsen is indeed right-handed. This was a very interesting conversation, mademoiselle. I thank you.
If you have any other questions, I'll be in my compartment. Good luck, Mr. Poirot.
I must admit I'm not right this time. This is wrong, but I'm never far from the truth. Strange, this story. If Mademoiselle Olsen is such a light sleeper, why didn't she tell me about Mademoiselle Debenham getting out of bed? She even made a point to tell me the opposite. Et voilà. Yes. Good job. My little gray cells did not let me down. I'll keep an eye on them instead. I'll observe her instead. Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
It is, of course, about the murder of Monsieur Ratchet. Can you tell me your movements last night?
I understand. Yesterday evening, I took a break at Vinkovsky station with Hotaru. We then went to our quarters in the staff accommodations, a section of the luggage car. Freya was there, reading, and I went to bed right after. Freya is there now, I think, and Hotaru is in the kitchen. They can verify my story.
What time was this?
11:30 p.m. or a bit after. The snow is beginning to fall heavily.
I see. Thank you. Can you write your address on this paper, please?
You want to pay me a visit?
Who knows, Monsieur Fauché?
He is right-handed, there can be no doubt.
Are you a smoker?
I'm trying to quit, but yes. I'm now down to just 1 pack of cigarettes a week. If you're looking for a heavy smoker, you should talk to Hotaru.
Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions.
That's the right answer.
Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions.
So, Poirot, I hope you are progressing in your investigation.
I have not finished yet, but it is progressing, yes. I still have many questions that must be answered. I will report to you as soon as I can. Ah, Monsieur Maury, would you have a few minutes to give me? I have some questions to ask you.
Do I look like I can answer questions? The room is spinning. My head is about to explode.
You were celebrating last night?
Celebrating? When Freya always wins? Ah, what am I saying? If you want my answers to your questions to make sense, help me recover. You see there, the magnet on the fridge. That is my special recipe. I call it my day after survival tonic. If you could make me my special tonic, I might survive long enough to answer your questions. Jean knows the recipe very well. He can help you with the preparation.
Very well, Monsieur Maury. If I must, I must. I will make you your day after survival tonic.
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. I'm missing half of the tonic ingredients. I have all the ingredients for Monsieur Maury's tonic. I have to go and see Monsieur Fauché so he can prepare it for me.
Monsieur Fauché, may I disturb you for a moment?
Of course. How can I help?
Monsieur Fauché, I need your help to prepare a cocktail.
What is this phrase? This is music to my ears. What can I fix for you? A mojito? A gin and tonic? Or perhaps a martini? Shaken, not stirred?
It's not for me, but for Monsieur Maury.
Ah, his day after survival tonic. Unfortunately, I know it well.
Here is everything that was listed on the magnet.
Excellent. I can take it from here. Mr. Poirot, I'm uncertain about the lemon juice. Is it half a lemon or a full lemon for the recipe?
Half a lemon.
I can't remember if Hotaru prefers it with ginger or without. Do you remember?
I can assure you that he will want the ginger.
There you are, sir. Hotaru will be himself again.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Here you go, Mr. Maury. I hope this will help you.
Thank you very much. Please give me a moment. While this takes effect, it will be a while, I'm afraid. But I will not move from the kitchen.
Since I have to wait, do you know where I can find Mademoiselle Nielsen?
She is in the staff quarters in the luggage car. If the door is locked, John will have the key.
Thank you. I will return. I hope you have a speedy recovery. Monsieur Maury told me that you are the one who has the key to open the luggage car door. I will need it.
Yes, that's right. Here it is. Please don't forget to give it back to me.
I will not forget, Monsieur Fauché. I have a favor to ask. Could you visit the passengers who are in their rooms and explain there has been an error with their allergy and diet form?
But, Monsieur Poirot, I made no errors.
Of course not. Call it a computer error.
Yes, it is possible, but even if I can see this is part of your investigation, I do not understand it.
I would ask that you observe which hand each passenger uses.
Ah, you wish to know if they use the right or left hand when they write?
That is my intention.
I will take on this mission for you.
Excellent. That's it. It's open now. A deck of cards. I suspect they were reading diamonds and spades instead of books. Empty rum bottles. Hello, Mademoiselle Nielsen. May I ask you a few questions?
I don't have a minute. My career is ruined, and it's not my fault.
But how did this terrible thing come to pass?
My supplies, passenger luggage, our living space. There is so little room. I gave the cargo handlers in Istanbul strict instructions how to stack my crates containing the ingredients I need for my desserts, so as one box is used up, it can be discarded.
And these fools of cargo handlers did not follow your instructions?
Ignored completely. I have 4 crates that must be moved from there to here to correct the order they are stacked. But placing the wrong crate on top of a smaller crate will crush it, its contents, and my career.
Calm yourself, mademoiselle. I understand. So, the problem is these 4 crates must be moved there, but carefully.
Yes. I have to move these 4 boxes from this location to here. But there is not much space to move the boxes, and I have to be careful never to put a bigger box on top of a smaller one, or the smaller crate will be destroyed.
The problem is clear. I shall assist you. Et voilà!
You are a lifesaver.
Or at least, a dessert saver.
Thank you, thank you. I will gladly answer your questions.
Can you tell me your movements of last night?
Last night after dinner, I stayed in the kitchen until 12:15 a.m. Then I joined Jean and Hotaru in our quarters. Then all of us read quietly in our beds until we fell asleep.
A very studious staff. However, Monsieur Maury doesn't seem to have followed the same literary pursuit as the others. And these rum bottles, do they have something to do with his hangover?
I rather think that you didn't just read last night.
What makes you say that?
I spoke to Monsieur Maury. He seemed to be quite hung over. He even asked me to make him his day after tonic. He blurted out, "Freya always wins." Wins what? Looking around, it is clear you were gambling and drinking most of the night.
You don't understand. It's late when we're off duty, but we need to unwind. And now there's been a murder? Yes, I admit it. We went overboard last night. But please don't tell Mr. Book. It's against regulations. We could all be fired.
Mademoiselle, I realize your difficult jobs have been made more difficult. But as you say, there has been a murder. I must have the truth.
Of course. I'm so sorry.
It's not such a crime. I'll leave it there and check in with Monsieur Fauché. Would you mind writing your address on this paper? I'm asking everyone on the train for addresses, in case I need to contact them once they leave the train in Paris.
I understand.
Yes, that's it. Mademoiselle Nielsen is right-handed.
Do you smoke?
No, I never have.
Thank you. Thank you for your answers, Miss Nielsen.
You're welcome.
Another golden moustache to treasure. Here is your key. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
About the little favor I asked of you.
Aha, but of course. I was able to get new allergy forms from guests who were in their compartments. Monsieur McQueen, Monsieur Masterman, Count and Countess Andreni, they are all right-handed. I also asked Princess Dragomirov, but she had her assistant, Madame Schmidt, sign for her. She is right-handed as well.
You have exceeded my expectations. Well done. Thank you, Monsieur Fauché. I'll come back to you if I have more questions. How are you?
It's better. Thank you.
Then may I ask you some questions? It will not take long.
Quickly, please. I have hungry passengers to feed.
Très bien. Can you tell me your movements last night?
Oh, nothing special. When I went off duty, I joined John and Freya in a compartment. I read for a short while, then went to bed early.
Reading? I'm not sure you have recovered enough to tell me the truth. Don't waste what little energy you have recovered to lie, Monsieur Maury.
Yes, sorry, Mr. Poirot. You're right. It obviously wasn't reading that made my head hurt like that. But if you told Monsieur Book, it could mean my job.
I will keep your secret, but I am investigating a murder. You must tell me the truth.
Thank you.
Please, write your address on this paper.
My address? I don't see why.
I think I hear Monsieur Book approaching.
My address? Yes, of course.
Another right-handed person. Not surprising, most people are.
You are a heavy smoker.
My job. It is very stressful.
Would you happen to know who vapes on the train? A banana flavor?
Oh, yes. The smell disgusts me. What is wrong with the good tobacco?
I do not have time to answer that. Who is it?
I've only seen one person who vapes. It's Captain Arbuthnot.
Captain Arbuthnot, I see.
Your testimony was invaluable to me. Thank you. Take care, Monsieur Maury. My palate depends on your good health.